Hello, 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 hello. Waiting to see who's gonna come on for a moment. Hello. Who joined us? Hey, Camellia, how are you? Where are you scoping from? Hi, Cheryl, how are you today? Hi, Laura, how are you? Thanks for hopping on the scope, ladies. We're gonna go ahead and get started in a minute or two. How's your Saturday been? Your weekend been so far? I hope everybody's had a good weekend. I need to stop moving my camera so much. I need to get a stand. Hello, Deborah. How are you? Thanks for joining us. How's your weekend been so far, everybody? Nobody wants to talk? Nobody wants to tell me how their weekend has been? Oh, for shame. I hate that. I really, really hate that. So I am going to go ahead and get started with this scope. For those who may not know who I am, and if you are catching a replay, thank you for joining us. Thank you for those who are here live. And so I am Zakiya Kyles, Chief Queen Officer, Queenly and Confident Brands, and the founder From Stuck to Start, where we are winning in the battle of obesity. Hi, Deborah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's kind of you. I wanted to just really talk really briefly about who's waiting on you. That's been on my mind for the last couple of days. And as I step into some projects that are new and that are unfamiliar in some cases, the way in which I'm doing them or have been asked to do them, it constantly reminds me that as a multi-gifted person, and I believe all of us have multiple gifts, some we've discovered and some we've yet to discover, that there is somebody that's waiting on something attached to our own particular gifts. I believe that the gifts and things that we're given are not meant for us to harbor, or they are not meant solely for our employers. I think that is a part of it, but I also think that they are sometimes meant to serve a greater good beyond what somebody can pay us for every week or every 2 weeks. I really do. And so I wanted to share a couple of thoughts tonight about who is waiting on you, because with each of our gifts, you all, there's somebody that's waiting for us to step up and show up with our gifts. And so when you think about showing up, a couple of things I've jotted down is that when we show up, we are giving people the permission to shine. I have seen it time and time again that because of the fact that I do something, I've had people say it to me, and I've had others that not said it to me, but the Holy Spirit has spoken to me. And we give people permission to shine. We give people permission to say that this thing that's been burning and that's itching inside of you that you really want to get out, that it's okay to go ahead and do it. Okay. The other thing too is that when we also decide to show up and we stop waiting for this particular thing, that we give people, and especially young ladies, I've seen this time and time again, young ladies who may be considered the oddball, or young ladies who may be considered a little odd, a little strange. We give them permission, y'all, to say that it is okay to be eclectic. One of my favorite songs by one of my favorite singers is Erykah Badu, and it's her song Clever. And if you've not had a chance to hear it, I want you to go and listen to Clever. And I want you, and that's CLEVA. It's all over YouTube. It was on her Mama's Gun, which is her third album. The third one that she recorded, this is the second one she recorded in the studio. But anywho, it is a very good song, and it really, really speaks about being comfortable in your skin. And if nobody else is the poster child for being all right with themselves, because that's kind of like the chorus that's on the song. It said, "Yes, I'm all right with me. Yes, I'm all right with me. Erykah Badu is the poster child for being all right with herself. And she's clever with it too. And so the other thing I want you to also think about when you are considering waiting or not doing this thing is two things. I want you to consider that you are delaying somebody stepping away from something, stepping away from maybe abusive relationship, stepping away from, a dead end job, stepping away from toxic relationships and environments, because there's somebody that's waiting for you. Because believe it or not, and this is why I cannot get down with, other people and who may do the same thing that I do, same type of business, same type of ministry that I do. And we feel the need to harbor or to hold on to people. Well, I've never felt that. I feel that all of us have been given something special that we can pour into individuals, and where it might be my season with one particular person, maybe the season of 2015 leads them somewhere else, and I'm okay with that, as long as that person gets what they need to get. Another thing. When we begin to think about, the whole thing of us waiting, and keep in mind when I say waiting, because the title of this scope is, hey, Delmar, thanks for joining. Who is waiting on you? We are also delaying a major step sometimes that people need to make. We are also delaying someone being able to keep the faith just because of those 3 words, keep the faith. Hey, those 3 words that somebody might needed to hear. And you may have been the very person that they needed to hear from. Yeah. Again, who is waiting on you? So I want you to consider these things, because I think, especially in this day and time of, of visual everything. And when we begin to look at the internet and we begin to look at, social media, visuals are big. People spend billions of dollars in making their online presence look spectacular, just looking so mass appealing to us. And it works because of the fact we are drawn to what looks good. We are so drawn to the image, if you would, the image sometimes that things are all together and this person could help me get to where they're at. Now, this is a scope for a whole nother day, but in many cases, some people are selling pipe dreams. They sell pipe dreams. And what they are selling you is a dream, and is their dream, which in many cases is not a dream that is meant for you, because the dreams that are meant for you are the ones that God has given you. So nobody can help you. Nobody can help you carry out those dreams but you. Nobody can. They can help set you on the path, or give you some information that can help you get there. So be very careful that when it comes to visual. So I want to share these couple of points with you too. For those who may be waiting, this is what I want you to know. And I really want you to take some time and consider these. And the first thing above all else is obedience is going to always be better. For those of us of the Christian faith, we are all familiar with a verse that tells us, obedience is better than sacrifice. Okay. And so if you are not obedient to what you've been called to do, what then will you be sacrificing? And there's some things that we cherish pretty greatly. I won't want to sacrifice any of those. The next thing is that when you show up, when you show up, and this is something I used to deal with that kept me stuck, kept me stagnant, y'all, for a long time, is that when you show up, don't be worried about your brand and what it looks like or whatever. Now, I will tell you, I do believe in working excellence, but when it comes to just moving forward and going at what God has called you to do, you don't really have time to be concerned about a brand and a color. And brand is a whole lot more, you all, than just colors and logos and graphics and all that other good stuff. Delmar, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's so much more than that. Okay. So I want to encourage you that if you know that there's something that's been laying on your heart, something that's been, in some cases maybe causing you to lose sleep at night because you are that happens. That's real, and that has happened to me several. I'm right in the midst of that happening to me right now with something that I'm working on. But be sure to do it now rather than later, because here's what I do know: the people who need it, the people who have been assigned to you, and we talked about that a little bit earlier, people assigned to you. Hi, Fan to Be Coaching. Thanks for joining. Those people are going to come. And so that leads me into the next thing. I think we also, as women especially, we get so caught up in the emotion and the feeling about something. And sometimes those other things that I mentioned, especially number 2 about stop worrying about the brand, the look, and things of that sort, can get us feeling, having us, feeling less than and maybe not superior or equal to other people. But you have to remember that these feelings and these emotions have to go, because when it comes to those things that we have been specifically and have been assigned to do, those things that have been set out for us, when we begin to really be drawn into that mess, y'all, that means we're putting ourselves before other people and, more importantly, over what God has called us to do. So we have to get rid of the feeling and emotion, and we have to just go on and do it. The next thing I want to mention, and I've mentioned this quite a bit, is the fact that there are people that are assigned to you. Now, I want you to consider this. For most of us, there's usually a girlfriend, somebody we've connected with in the community, maybe even our own family members, and they have always had this tendency to try to just come to us and talk about, many cases, this very thing that we have hard pressed in our spirits, and that we know that we are passionate about, or that we feel that is a part of our purpose life. Again, the people are waiting. What they are waiting for you to do is to step up and to take responsibility of what it is that you've been called to do. They're waiting. They're waiting. The next thing that I want to mention too is that as a result of your waiting, you're really delaying some of the fulfillment and the satisfaction that life can bring when you actually step forward and do the things that you've been purposed to do in this life. There is no greater joy, you all, than getting on the other side of sharing a message, and even hard messages, or being able to inspire and to empower people to live beyond. Hi, Exquisite Looks. Thanks for joining. To live beyond just the mediocre, to help people with getting unstuck, to lead people or to coach people to their greatness. There's nothing like it. Hey, lady, thank you. It's good to see you. I ain't seen you in a while. And so when you are waiting, you are delaying some major satisfaction and fulfillment unlike ever before. There's nothing like being used for God for a greater purpose. Nothing like it. The last thing that I want to mention here is that if you are, oh, I just got a Facebook message from Caesar. Okay, thanks, Caesar. The next thing that I want to mention too is that if you feel that you need to have somebody to kind of go along on this journey with you, why don't you consider getting a mentor or a coach? Mentor or coach, because now keep in mind that this is an investment in your greater self. This is not an investment in for the most cases, of what you are doing with your job, or what you just doing, just this thing that you do or you like to do. No, this is an investment in you. This is a form of accountability. What I can tell you is that by having a mentor is the greatest form of accountability that you can ever have, that you can ever invest in. A coach is going to, just like, let's look at coach. For most time, we know coaches associated with, athletics. What do? They give you strategies. They give you suggestions. They pump you up. They give direction. And a coach or a mentor does exactly that, with holding your feet to the ground for what it is that you said you want to. Now, this is what I will tell you. If you know you're not ready for, in some cases, a little tough love, or a lot of straightforwardness. Because when you come to a mentor and you come to a coach, you should be ready. You should be ready for whatever it is they're going to pull out or they're going to question you about. But when you continue to wait and delay on this, you are in direct disobedience, So if accountability is what you need at this time, consider doing that. Interested in working with me as a form of accountability for some goals and things that you are working towards, hit me up. You can inbox me on Facebook as Zakia S. Kyles on Facebook, or inbox me at info@zakiaskyles.com, and let's talk. Because here's the thing, you all, more than any time in our life now, any time in this world, time is of the essence. Cheryl Wood says, playtime is over. It is. And so when the day comes that you have to make an account for what it is that you did, the excuse of waiting is not going to do. So I want to encourage you to do it today. So I trust that this message enlightened you, inspired you, and more than anything, motivated you to move with some actions. That's what I wanted to do more than anything. So again, I'm Zakia, Ms. Queenly and Confident, founder of Queenly and Confident Brands, and the creator for Stuck to Start, where we are winning in the battle of obesity. Thank you all so much for tuning in to my scopes. I'm trying to get better with scoping better, and I'm actually supposed to be participating in a 30-day challenge, y'all. Yes, so, yes, I still have more room to show up. I can just be honest with you and sometimes tell you that sometimes it can be very overwhelming when you've been given so many tasks and charged with so much to do. And so I just try to take it day by day, bit by bit to get it done. And so I thank you all. Feel free, you all, if you would, to share these, also too, if you're on a replay and there is something that resonated with you, show some hearts. I'm not necessarily a person that's constantly, after a particular heart hunt. But if there's something that touches you or that you think that other people need to hear, thank you for sharing and thank you for the hearts. All right. So I hope that everybody's been having a sensational Saturday and that everyone is preparing for, a sweet Sunday. If you're going to, you are. Okay. It's doing good on my end. I don't know why, but we almost finished. Thanks, Exquisite Looks, for letting me know. If you are preparing for service tomorrow, make sure that you're going to get something, that you're not going there to be entertained. Okay. All right. Thanks so much. Love you all. Take care.